You're listening to an archived Cabral Concept podcast. After listening to this show, check out the most up-to-date podcasts available at stephencabral.com/podcasts or search directly on iTunes. And now, welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
And I just got out of a great meeting with all of my personal trainers. And so what I want to do is I want to start sharing a little bit more of the insights that I give them on a weekly basis. So we do weekly meetings, and they're basically check-ins. We have an amazing team of personal trainers. We have over a dozen personal trainers on our team, all really highly skilled, all full-time. This is their career. It's not a hobby. And all of them come from either a National Academy of Sports Medicine background, American College of Sports Medicine, or National Strength and Conditioning Association background. So they already have the education. They have the knowledge. They have these great national certifications that hold up. And they also have experience before coming to work on our team. But a lot of times what we do here is we fine tune, we add a little bit more education, and we take really great people and we add a different element that isn't typically seen in the fitness industry, and it's simply because it's not taught. And the reason is we try to add a little bit of the psychology, a little bit of the coaching, and a little bit more of the wellness into their repertoire, right? And so it makes them not just great fitness personal trainers, but coaches. And that's what I want to talk about is a coach is just very different than an actual trainer. A coach is going to help you when you're down, when you're not motivated, when you need a little bit more of a boost, really to pick you up, and then also to show you this is why you're doing this specific thing. Because a lot of personal trainers may take you through a program, and again, this isn't coming down on personal trainers. I think personal trainers are amazing. I've been in the industry for 20 years. I love the industry, and I think personal trainers are some of the greatest health advocates we have because they are preaching how not to get sick, how not to live a life of disease. So I don't want to take anything away. What I want to talk about really is how can we fine tune that? How can we take it up a level? And this goes for everyone because I have so many personal trainers listening to this show as well. And what I want to say is always look to take your education to the next level. And that's what I do myself. I only preach what I practice, and I try to practice always what I preach. And so that's why I'm always reading. I'm always going through, like just last weekend, I read 3 books, 2 of them psychology-based, and one of them really this biochemical-based wellness, looking deeper and deeper into the body. And so again, I just try to up-level myself as well. One topic I want to talk about with you now today, and that I shared in the meeting, is why you shouldn't switch up your workout every single time you come to the gym or every single time you work out. And that's because I know a lot of personal trainers, again, not what we do, but a lot of personal trainers, they like to give you a different workout every time. And again, this isn't just personal trainers. I should say it's more from a marketing perspective where they call it, muscle confusion. And it simply means you're doing different exercises every time you come in, every single workout, no matter what the week is. And that's not what we do. We work with people 2 to 3 times per week, typically, sometimes once, so once, twice, or 3 times per week. And they are getting a different workout on, let's say, a Monday, a different one on a Wednesday, and a different one on a Friday. So they are different. But then the second week, the third week, and the fourth week, all of those are the same, and that you're talking about progression. Here's why. There's a very smart and very well-proven scientific principle called the SAID principle. I've talked about it way in the past before. I'll talk about it again. It's called specific adaptation to imposed demand. And what that means is this, is that if you complete an exercise over enough period of time, you're going to adapt to it, which means that your body's going to learn how to do it, and it's going to become better at doing that particular exercise. Well, what does that mean? It means this, is that a lot of the gains we make in the gym are not muscle-based, meaning like you don't gain 5 pounds of muscle a month. That's just not how it works. What happens, though, is our nervous system adapts. That means our neuromuscular system gets stronger. That means our nervous system tells our muscles how to better do that exercise. So when you improve in strength, it doesn't mean that you added a lot of muscle. Typically, a lot of times, it doesn't mean you added any. What it means is that you now better know how to fire those motor neuron units, or just those motor units inside of the muscles. And so that means this, is that each week, let's say that I gave the example in the meeting is, let's say a client comes in, And they're doing a one-arm standing cable chest press. Really great exercise that not only works the chest muscles, but it works your obliques, it works your core. It's anti-resistance, so it gives you a nice, strong, tight waist at the same time. And you're standing, so you're not sitting down. Nobody needs to be sitting down during the workout. We already do enough of that. We don't need more sitting. So what it does is this then. So let's say you start week 1 at 15 pounds. And the next week you go to 17 and a half pounds after you did a warm-up set. And then 20 pounds, and then 22 and a half pounds by the end of 4 weeks. And our clients typically switch up their workouts every 4 weeks. So that means this. You progress from 15 to 22 and a half pounds. That's an amazing jump in weight. You've improved by at least, 30, 40%. That's a great jump. So you're stronger. Your whole body metabolically is going to be stronger. And you made improvements. So most likely you're seeing body transformation gains, meaning like you're seeing your body look more toned. You're burning off more body fat because of also the nutrition plan that you're following. So, but what else does it mean? That's why I shared these, especially with the personal trainers, is that a lot of times, I just want to say people in general, when they start working out at a gym, they might be a little bit more intimidated. And if they're always doing a new exercise, they never get better at anything. That's a really big thing as well. So not only, science-based are you going to get better results in terms of body transformation, you also want to feel like you're getting better at something, that you're improving. We all want to do that. So if you're doing 1 week from a standing cable chest press to the next week to ring push-ups, to the next week you're doing, equalizer-based dips, and then after that you're doing TRX mountain climbers, all of them can be upper body, chest-based, tricep-based exercises, but you're just complicating it. You're making it harder than it has to be. And eventually you're going to get to all those exercises anyways. You don't need to rush it. So you might as well adapt, improve, then move on. Do an unloading week and then move on and get better and better and better. So that's what I try to explain to people as well, is that it's not just about the body transformation goals. It's about your success goals. It's about understanding that you can improve and that you do improve each and every week. And when you look back over the 4 weeks, you get to see the great accomplishment that you've made because you have the statistics. We write everything down on a clipboard each and every time. We show on that workout program the client improving each and every week. And all I'm showing is this is exactly what we do in my practice. I want you to be able to do it, even if you're not in Boston, anywhere in the world. And we have people all over the world listen to the podcast. So this is the same exact thing. Let's just say you're at home and you're doing body weight based exercise. Great. How many squats did you do week 1? How many push-ups, right? How many lunges? Okay. Did you start at that adding weights? So all of these things can be tracked and they should be tracked. And it seems like a big deal to track, but it's not. It takes you 30 seconds at most to write in all of your weights, if that, right? It takes 5 seconds after your actual superset or tricep to get into it. So that's, in my opinion, one of the greatest things that you can do for yourself is not switch up your workouts every single time. And a lot of times I'm going against the grain of what's popular right now, what's being said. But I'll tell you this, just from a different perspective, muscle confusion, all of these things, this is basically a fancy way of saying that we're going to make you pretty sore every single workout. And you don't need to be sore every workout. This is a whole different topic. So I'm going to not go into it today, specifically down that rabbit hole. But if you're not giving yourself 4 weeks to do a particular grouping of exercises, that means that you're not getting stronger in that particular exercise. That's another way to look at it. Meaning, like, if your goal is to get better at push-ups, it's really a good way to do that? Do more push-ups. So if every Monday is your push-up day, or every Monday and Friday, however you're doing it, and you go from 5 the very first time, I'm guaranteeing you that you could add 1 to 2 push-ups per week. By the end of a month, I'm guaranteeing you could double that from 5 to 10. But you can't do that if you're not progressing every week. And you can't do that if you're just jumping from exercise to exercise, because remember, specific adaptations to imposed demands, which means specific, same exercise, moving up each and every week. And the only variable that changes typically is either the weight that you've increased or your reps if it's body weight. Now, keep in mind, we always do the weight as the improvement and keep the reps always the same. So we only have one variable that changes. That's one secret of the way that we're able to get clients better results than I believe anyone in the world. And we also guarantee that. So when I say those types of things, they might sound like, I don't know, maybe too insane. But the truth is that we guarantee everything. That's my bottom line, is that I want you to understand that if you ever work with us or you ever follow our principles, right? Because we may never get to work one-on-one together. But if you follow these principles, they're guaranteed to be the best. And I mean it from a really non-ego standpoint, meaning that I've researched it. I've looked at everything. And really, I've just built my practice on the shoulders of other great, great people. And I just try to assimilate all the best information and make it into one cohesive unit. But also, I can guarantee you this on my own end. If there's anything that's ever better than what we're doing, no ego involved at all. I'm going to switch in a heartbeat. beat. Of course, I'm going to test it, and I'm going to make sure that it's backed by science. I'm not just going to just throw it out there. I'm going to make sure that it works, but really, we're not stuck to any one particular thing. That's a big thing. So I'm going to leave it at that for today. I do want you to understand that whatever you're doing right now, it can be changed, right? So this next workout that you get into, just try this. Try coming up with 2 to 3 different workouts for the week, and just keep those same ones each week, and just try to progress a little bit extra weight or a little bit extra reps each week. Doesn't mean you need to double the weight, just add a little bit more. You're already going to be making progress. So hopefully this episode helped. Thank you once again for tuning into the Cabral concept, and as always, please do pass along this episode to anyone you believe it would help.
Did you know that the body really only becomes sick or imbalanced in only 2 ways? Over time, you become deficient in vital nutrients, and you also accumulate toxins internally and from the environment. As those nutrients diminish and you increase your total toxic load, your body then begins to show the first signs of dis-ease. It's actually quite predictable, and the good news is that if we know how you began to fill up that proverbial rain barrel, we also know how to empty it to begin the healing process. I was fortunate enough to learn this ancient healing process from my mentor after suffering from debilitating diseases for close to a decade. It was only when I began to implement these techniques did I finally overcome my illnesses and go on to live a life of energy and vitality that I now enjoy. I'd like to share with you now what I discovered after traveling all over the world and how to combine the best of ancient healing wisdom with state-of-the-art science. Allow me to teach you exactly how I've been able to help over 250,000 people to empty their rain barrel and begin to transform their body and lives into what they've always hoped they could be. To get your copy of the international bestseller, The Rain Barrel Effect, simply go to stephencabral.com/rainbarrel.